book lover friends, and welcome back to another video. I know the lighting really sucks right now and I look like a mess, but that's just because I got a package. This package holds a very important book that I've been waiting for like a day. Actually, it's been longer than a day. Like, I've been waiting for it to come out for months, and then it came out in October, and then I didn't pre-order it in time. But I just had to like get out my camera as soon as this package came in the mail tonight. It's late at night already because daylight saving time sucks. Oh my god, look at this. Oh my gosh, it's so clean and like without any creases on the spine. It has yet to be read A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer L. Armentrout. The first book in her Flesh and Fire series, which is the prequel series to the From Blood and Ash series that she has been writing for like about 2 years, and it's been a freaking wild ride. Those books are amazing. If you want to live, read those books. But basically, I ordered this book as soon as I finished The Crown of Gilded Bones. It said that it would be here the next day, but then yesterday I was waiting all day. Like, I'm telling you, I waited all day long for this book to come in the mail, and then at the very last moment at like 9 o'clock they were like, actually, your package is delayed. No! I just wanted to start this reading vlog here because I just wanted you to know how excited I am to read this book. I have been dying for this book to come so I can read it. I've been reading the sample, which is like only like 2 to 3 chapters of the book, like on my Kindle, like every single night. But I am going to go ahead and start reading this beauty, this bad boy. I know I'm gonna love it. I can just feel it in my bones, you know what I mean? I can feel it in my book lover heart, my book lover bones. I can feel I'm gonna freaking love this book. It smells so weird. You know what? Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but like these pages smell like oatmeal cookies. I know I'm not the only one who smells their books, so like don't even judge me. Okay, bye. Hello everyone and welcome back to another update. I am on chapter 6 and I'm on page 104. You know that exciting feeling you get when you're reading a book and like all day long you can't stop thinking about it, and you can't stop thinking about the next time you get to read it and what you think is gonna happen and like all your theories and everything? That is what I'm feeling when I'm reading this. This is like the experience that I'm getting. The last time I believe that I felt that way was the second book in the From Blood and Ash series, because that book totally floored me, and when I finished it I was just like awestruck, and while I was reading it, like I just could not put it down. And honestly, I cannot put this book down. I'm having to pace myself because I know that I'm doing these reading vlogs and I really want to talk to you guys about what I'm feeling, but at the same time I'm just like, I want to read this until it is finished. But then I'm also thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, how long do I have to wait till I can get the second book? And I've only read like 100 pages. I think one of the things that's so exciting about this book is that I know kind of where these characters are probably gonna end up a little bit, because you know, from the From Blood and Ash series, like we know like certain stuff. Like we know we know he's the primal god of death, and we know that he does end up having a consort, and that is going to be Sarah. There is no doubt in my mind that it's going to be Seraphina. We know that these characters are gonna fall in love, and the first moment that they interacted in this book, I was like, you don't want her now as a consort, but you're gonna fall in love, and I can't wait to read about it. This book has me by my heart. So far, our main character, Seraphina, she is the first daughter of the Muriel bloodline. So she's princess of this kingdom, but she's not acknowledged as a princess. Nobody really knows that she's a princess. She's kind of like Poppy, where she was hidden as like kind of like a maiden in order to fulfill this agreement that one of her ancestors made with the primal god of death. The agreement was basically give me like lots of success, land, and all this good things with his kingdom, and then the first princess of a bloodline will be given to him, the god of death, as his consort, which is basically his wife. The prologue is Sarah about to go to his temple in order to be given to him as his consort. Her purpose is not really just to become his consort, it's to make him fall in love, which is his weakness, and to end him, because that will end the suffering of her kingdom. Because right now, since she was born, her kingdom has basically been dying. There's been droughts. The weather is basically like global warming up in there. I feel so bad for Sarah. Her mom is just a piece of work. She slapped her in the face when the primal god of death was like, you know, I have no need for a consort, and then just like left. In this book, there is ascension. I may or may not be getting this mixed up, but I'm pretty sure in the From Blood and Ash series, the ascension is people becoming vampires. But the first vampire wasn't made until after this time, when Sarah and the primal god of death's son, Malik, still don't know how to say his name, somebody enlighten me, when he turns Isbeth into a vampire. That was the first ascension, that was the first vampire, right? Am I remembering that right? So then what, I'm just wondering, like, what is this ascension? Like, what are they talking about? And in this book, it's like a huge honor. Like, there's like a ceremony and everything. Okay, so the first interaction, well, like the first like kind of official interaction between Sarah and the primal god of death, which we haven't been given his name yet, but I'm pretty sure it's Ash. Their first interaction is so... Okay, let's just talk about it. She sees these two gods. She catches them killing like humans, mortals, and then a baby, and she goes to basically attack them when Ash stops her and is like, what the heck are you doing? And then in order to look inconspicuous, they end up making out, which I have marked with a pink tab because, you know, love. They are so meant for each other. Like, I can't wait for them to actually fall in love. Like, they haven't actually exchanged names yet, but I'm hardcore shipping them, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited for her to figure out that he's the primal god of death, you know? I can't wait for her to like be like, you rejected me, and then kind of ruined my life for the last 3 years. Because since then, her mother just looks down at her like she's a failure. Everyone in the kingdom that knows of what her purpose was looks at her as she was like a failure. She's not even recognized as being like her mom's daughter or a princess. And her mother basically sells her out to go kill people. So like, you know, a lot of bad stuff has happened in her life since he rejected her, and I'm wondering why he rejected her, you know? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why would he want a consort and then look at her and be like, I have no need of a consort? Like, what did he see in her? Because he looked at her and then shook his head too. So like, why are you shaking your head? Like, what is going on? Also, I think Jennifer put this one part in this book to like kind of foreshadow something that's gonna happen in the next From Blood and Ash book. She said, a babe was truly an innocent and relied on everyone around it, including the gods, to keep it safe. Killing one was unforgivable. The back of my eyes burned. If I had a child, or if any descendant of mine, aka Poppy, had been harmed, I would burn through both realms just so I could flay the skin from the body of the one who'd hurt them. Essentially, Seraphina is a badass, and I cannot wait for her to wake up from her deep, long sleep that she has been sleeping for literally so many hundreds of years in the From Blood and Ash series. Can you imagine her waking up and then helping Poppy and Castiel? That is gonna be epic. It's gonna happen. Also, theory, I have a theory. Okay, Sir Holland. I have this theory that he is somehow working for the primal god of death, that he's either a god or he's like a servant of the god. Like, okay, remember that Draken in The Crown of Gilded Bones that we met, and he was like, he was a Draken, but like he also was in his mortal form. Remember that one guy? I forgot his name. What if Sir Holland is actually that Draken? Because listen, like he is so keen on preparing her for the primal god of death. He's like so convinced that he's gonna come back. I have a feeling that he's not who we think he is. I also had this insane theory because, okay, theories for me, they're like the fun part about reading. Like, I love to be proven right. I don't know what that says about me, but I do. This involves both her dad and her mom. Her dad, who was the king, basically threw himself from a building and killed himself after Seraphina was born, and she thinks it's because of her birth. Also, her mother is just so like against her and just doesn't show any love for her or compassion for her at all. She doesn't look like her mom, she looks like her dad. So my theory is, I don't think that the queen is actually her mom, because if like we're thinking about her powers, and I'm thinking she has this power where she can bring back things from the dead. She's basically life, and she's gonna fall in love with death, which is just, I mean, beautiful, wonderful, love that. That is where I'm at so far. Oh, the last part that I tabbed, which was like the last page that I just read, was when she stabbed Ash. ash. So that is so Poppy. That is so Poppy. That is so where Poppy gets it from. I'm now on page 158. I just got to the scene where Seraphina goes to the lake and she undresses, gets naked, and goes into the lake for like a swim. And what do you know? She is not the only one there. These two characters have yet to introduce themselves to each other. So like, she doesn't even know his name. She just calls him, oh my gosh, it's the god. They're just flirting. This scene is so entertaining. I am just sensing so much romantic chemistry and tension. Also, Phoebe is here with me. She's trying to help me read. She likes to read books as well. Jennifer L. Child is also her favorite author. And then she was like, I'm also a princess. Like, I'm a princess. This is my lake. Get out. Just reminds me of Poppy and Castile so much. What do you think, Phoebe? She agrees. Okay, I have to update again. They just introduced themselves to each other. He says, some call me Ash. First off, why is he going by Ash? Like, who calls him that and why? Second off, like, okay, so his name is freaking Nyktos in the From Blood and Ash series. So like, why do they call him Nyktos in the From Blood and Ash series, but like he's calling, like, is Ash like a nickname? I'm guessing it is. What do you think, Phoebe? We don't know. We're confused, but we are intrigued at the exact same time. One thing that's really awesome about dogs is that they don't care if you babble about nonsense and books and fictional characters. Phoebe doesn't care. Phoebe doesn't mind. Phoebe's always here. So like a lot of stuff has happened, like a lot. This book has me questioning, like, do I love Ash or Castile more? Like, I don't know. I don't know, guys, and that's like scary because the love I have for Castile is so strong. By the way, I'm on my porch. This is my favorite place to read. It has the perfect atmosphere with the chimes, and then if you can kind of see, like, this is like the perfect day because it's like 70 degrees outside. The trees are so pretty and they perfectly match my book. I feel so bad for Seraphina and just like how she's treated. Like, the girl has like no family. Like, at least Poppy had people that cared about her. Like, she had Tawny as her best friend. Castile obviously was there and like cared for her. She had Victor, who was basically like her father figure. Seraphina only has like maybe a couple. One person, and that's Ezra, her stepsister. She has Sir Holland too, but like it's even described in the book as like he's not really a parental figure for her. He's just like always there and he protects her. But even he is gone right now. Like, he left. They sent him away, which I know he's gonna come back and play a certain part in the story. I just have a big feeling about that. Like, they don't even feed her food. Like, she has to go and get the scraps from the night before. That's why I'm so convinced that her mom is not her mom, because like there's no way, like, I just like can't imagine like a mom feeling that way towards their own daughter. I'm just like ready for her to have friends and like feel protected and feel like she has a family, because that's what she needs. She needs a found family. I love that in books, and I have a feeling that's what's gonna happen for her, and I just can't wait to see it play out. So we get this one scene where they're at this ceremony, and like Seraphina is not even supposed to be there because everyone and their mother, like, and her mother hate her here. But there is an ascension, and the ascension here is an honor. Like, it's something that we visually see in this book. Like, I don't think we see an ascension in the From Blood and Ash series. Like, it's very secretive. Poppy really doesn't know a lot about it, but here it's like a huge honor, and it's basically them being chosen by a god. Here we see the first look of Colas, which is the primal of life, and he shows up and he looks at Seraphina dead in the eyes. Like she like tries to play it off like, oh, I don't think he was really looking at me. He was definitely looking at her because she has that gift of life. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Like, are we gonna have like a fight between Ash and Colas? I just wonder how the Ascension has turned from this you are chosen, you are worthy, an honor thing to like, we are sucking the life out of you. Welcome to vampirehood. And Seraphina finally used her powers on a mortal. The very first time she used her giving life powers was to her cat. She was forbidden to use her power again, and her mom killed her cat after she brought it back from the dead. And you know that like when she did this, she was like probably like 7, 8 years old. What kind of mother kills their daughter's cat? But she uses it on Ezra's girlfriend Marisol. But then the king dies, which I don't think it was natural. Guess who gets to be king but Tavius? Literally like the worst character ever. I'm glad he's gone. The way he took her down and tried to whip her, like I just knew that Ash was gonna be showing up and I was begging for it. I was like, please, Ash, now would be a really great time for you to show up. Finally understand now why he goes by Ash is because he goes, I am known as the Asher. I am Nyktos, ruler of the Shadowlands, the primal of death. Right now, Nyktos is not the king of the gods. Like he's just a primal. And Colas is actually the king of the gods. So I wonder how that's gonna change up. When Nyktos finally like showed up and he got in Tavius's space, he took the whip from him and he said, you should have thought about that before you picked up that whip and touched what is mine, what is his. Now we're getting to the point in the story where like he is trying to pull back. Like at first like he was simping over her, but like now he's trying to pull back because he's catching feelings. Okay? And he's scared. I am just knocking through this book like nobody's business because this book is just so good. Like I cannot put it down. I have other responsibilities, yet I can't stop thinking about this book and these characters and where it's gonna go. Oh my gosh, guys. The dragons showed up. The gang is all here. Nektos is here. And then there's like 4 other ones. Some of them are twins. They're Drakens. Wait, okay. Oh, so Drakens are Draken and dragons are different. Okay, I don't know how. Like I just now figured that out. Like I feel like we've been told that before, but I guess it blurred out from my mind, but Drakens and dragons are different. I love that we're getting like a history lesson on dragons in this world because I think it's so cool that we have dragons in this world now. Drakens are dragons, but in god form. A long time ago, a primal befriended a dragon and wanted to learn more about the histories and the stories. So he gave it a dual life and gave it a godly form. So that's why they can turn into mortals, like they have mortal forms. I am now on chapter 30. Page 416. There's all these rules that Ash has given Seraphina in order to keep her safe because apparently like his mom was killed while he was literally in her stomach. One of the rules he gives her is to not go into the blood forest. And what do you do if you're a main character in a fantasy book? You do the opposite of what someone tells you to do. I'm at this part and she sees Ash with this other god lady and she's basically kind of flirting with Ash, like, and so Sarah gets a little green jelly, gets really mad and goes and walks into the blood forest. It's actually like a really creepy scene because these hunters, she sees this hawk and she like heals it, which just reminded me so much of Poppy. These hunters are like attracted to anytime she does something with her powers. So these hunters show up and then these other creepy things start coming up from the ground. I'm imagining like bodies just crawling out of the ground and like that is so like, okay, really one of my fears. Like I am so scared of zombies. Like you guys know I don't watch zombie movies, I don't watch zombie TV shows. I literally try not to read any zombie books whatsoever because it makes me nauseous. Like the whole thing, it just really freaks me out. Get up and they sniff the air, and I'm just like thinking about James from Twilight, except more freaky, more creepy, and more disturbing. And then it's revealed, well, angrily, because Ash is so angry at her, which is understandable. He's like literally yelling at her like, I literally told you not to go into the blood forest, and what do you do? What do you do? These things that are in the ground are actually gods that they put in the ground as punishment, and that these blood leaves is the god's blood under the ground. And then, you know, she passes out because she was scratched by one. So I haven't gotten to the next part after that, but I'm excited. I mean, you know, Ash is very angry with her, so I'm excited. I mean, like, you know, one of the best parts in books is like when like your main character like gets like hurt or something. That sounds so bad. That sounds so bad. But you know, you guys watched my books and drama video. Like, I love when that kind of drama stuff happens in a book where like the main character gets hurt and their significant other has to like show them affection, you know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. Also, another connection to Poppy is that Nyktos can feel her emotions. Like, he senses her emotions. He can sense other people's emotions, which is exactly what Poppy does. I think it's just cool seeing like all these connections from this series to from Blood and Ash. Another reason why I'm thinking like she's going through the culling is because like what is going on with this like blood thing? Like look, she's getting like aches in like her temples. Like, she's getting like really bad like migraines and stuff. And then when she brushes her teeth, like there's blood. Like, girl, you probably should like ask a doctor or ask someone like, hey, is this normal that like I'm having these migraines and like I have blood in my mouth? No, it's not. Like, you should probably consult like a doctor or something, like a specialist, because that's not normal. Look how much left I have of this book. Oh my gosh, like I want to like see, okay, I'm gonna try and like see how many pages is in this book without trying to spoil. Okay. This is very dangerous. 633 pages. I have 633 pages and I'm at 417. I'm not even gonna do the math. Honestly, like, don't want to be done with this book because we have to wait till next fall to read the sequel. Also, it just makes me really excited to see, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I just can't stop thinking about it. I'm just so excited to see Seraphina wake up in the From Blood and Ash world. Like, can you imagine her and Poppy meeting each other for the first time? Anyways, it is 11:30 at night. I probably should be going to bed, but I honestly probably will read another chapter or two because I'm addicted. So, wish me luck. Hello once again. It is a very rainy day, and so you know what that means. Rainy days equal sitting in bed all day and reading. I am literally going to finish this book today. Like, I can feel it in my bones. I'm on chapter 35. This is how much book I have left. This much. That's like nothing. That's nothing. That's like an hour. Where did I last leave off when we last spoke? I don't remember. Basically, okay, I'm gonna stop speaking in a British accent because it's really bad, and I know. Well, there was this awesome scene where the gang, I'm just gonna start calling them that, the gang found that missing mortal, Gianna, who was a chosen, but Ash actually saved her from being chosen, which is a whole another can of beans. We'll talk about it. They found her, and then she was dying, and then she died, and then they were all around her. Seraphina steps forward, and I just knew she was gonna do it. I was just like, do it, do it, do it, do it. She brought Gianna back to life, and everyone was shooketh. I was like, yes, look at her eyes. Everyone, look at Seraphina. Look how awesome she is. Look what she can do. Ash walked in while she was doing it, and like he said that like everybody can sense her power. Like, she has life in her. And the reason she has life in her is because his dad gave it to her, I guess. His dad used to be the primal of life before his twin brother, Colas, which is, you know, the king of the gods right now, took it away from him. Also, I hate that Seraphina's still thinking about killing Ash. Like, it's still something that's on her mind right now. She's like, well, for the good of the kingdom, like, Ash is just one person. But it's like, if you kill Ash, then you kill like I mean, all these people trust him. He saves like mortals from being ascended and being chosen. Like and you freaking love him. Like obviously you guys have this huge connection. I know that they're heartmates. Like I just know, I can sense it. Why are you still thinking about like, should I kill him? Ugh. Or should I not kill him? I kind of don't want to kill him, but like I should kill him. It's my duty. Like I should kill him. I'm on chapter 41. I probably have like around, I would say like 40 to 50 more pages left in this book. And Ash is really starting to like hurt my feelings. He learned about her treachery. They both fed on each other. He feels this like insane amount of distrust. He basically was like, okay, well, you're only gonna be my consort and that's it. And this isn't even by choice. Like I don't even want you to be my consort, but like it is what it is. She like suggests like, well, friendship. And this is what he says. And this is like really like, this is like mean. Friendship. Even if I considered such a thing, I would never think of you. There is no way I could ever trust you. That I would not doubt or question every thought or action. Not when you were shaped and groomed to be whatever it is you believed I wanted. Not when you're just a vessel that would be empty if not for the ember of life you carry within you. Basically, he's calling her an empty vessel. The rot also isn't because of this deal that Ash's father made. It's literally because there's two primals of death. There cannot be two primals of death. I also love this one little detail when Ash is talking about the flower that reminds him of Sarah, and it's literally poppies. Like the temperamental plant, poppies. Anyways, Ash is actually being very harsh right now. I'm just wondering when he's going to get in a good mood again. Obviously they had their little lovey-dovey scene, and now the next day he's like, that will never happen again. You're just gonna be a consort to me, just in title. I will never fall in love with you. Like you weren't even a threat to me because I would never even fall in love with you, so whatever. I just wanna be cradled by Nidose. Just kidding. Actually, I'm on. I finished the book. Oh my gosh, 5 stars. Like a million 5 stars for me. I freaking loved this book. I just can't believe the ending. But like I can believe it because I also predicted it. But like I didn't predict it to play out in that way per se. So I was right. I was right. Sarah is going to be the prima of life. A lot of stuff went down. Colas is like making revenants and we're having to deal with the revenants, the revenant things, like these abominations. And then, oh my gosh, that attack when those 3 gods came in and attacked Seraphina and Eos and Belle, like that was insane. Like that entire scene was so freaking intense. Like I could not stop reading. Like it was like, oh my gosh, like what is going to happen? Like that scene was written so intensely. It was so like gripping, especially when that one god literally bit Seraphina and was like ripping her memories from her, and it was like so painful. I was just waiting for Ash to show up. Like please. And then he shows up looking like a boss, you know, obviously saves the day. And then he kisses her. There's this one scene that's like, and this one scene was so annoying, like after like all this has happened, and then he looked at her and he was like, this changes nothing. Boy, please. This changes everything. Oh my gosh, like why is he gotta be so stubborn? And you know what he reminds me of? Because like obviously like Poppy is literally just like him. Don't you guys remember in Kingdom of Flesh and Fire when she just would not forgive Castiel for his betrayal? Nidose is now Poppy. Like it's just switched. I knew Holland also had to be something like crazy. Like I knew he had to come back somehow. And it's literally, he was a fate. He is one of the fates. The craziest thing though was finding out that Ash's father took that ember of life that was in Ash and gave it to the Muriel bloodline, which, you know, is now like it's in Seraphina, and he did it to protect Ash because obviously like his dad was the primal of life. So when he was born, he had a little bit of that kernel of life in him, and like he would be seen as a threat. Then we get to the crazy scene with the fates, and the goddess Penelope, which is so cool seeing her. I had a theory one time that Poppy was actually the goddess Penelope, but like, you know, obviously that's not real. That's not happening. She has like had visions of the From Blood and Ash world and all of that stuff going down, and like I just like, there's so much to unpack in her entire like prophecy, because it was like some of the prophecy was like about stuff that was happening right now, but then I also had feelings that like some of the stuff is probably about From Blood and Ash and like what's gonna go on in that world. Like she said, but I also saw her, I saw them, a chosen and a descendant of the first, a queen of flesh and fire, aka Poppy, and him, a king risen from blood and ash, who ruled side by side with man, and they felt right. They felt like hope. So she's definitely talking about Castiel and Poppy. And there was this one part at the end of her prophecy that kind of like confused me. I just want to know what you guys think about it. She says, her first daughter was blood full of fire, fated for the once promised king, and the second daughter with blood full of ash and ice, the other half of the future king. Together they will remake the realms as they usher in the end. I don't know, like, is this talking about them? Is this talking about Seraphina and Ash? Or is this talking about something going on in the From Blood and Ash world? But then the crazy, crazy thing, plot twist, okay? Another crazy plot twist that happened when they were literally telling Poppy, oh my god, not Poppy, Seraphina, literally telling Seraphina, like, you will not see your 21st birthday. You will die. Have fun with that. Hope that brought some peace within your soul, that you're gonna die very soon. Seraphina's 20. She's like, oh, that's pretty soon. And also Seraphina is gonna go through the calling because she has a bit of primal blood in her, and the only thing that can save her is literally love. Love is the answer to all things. And Seraphina's like, well, I'm gonna die because obviously like freaking Nyctos don't love me. And I'm just like, girl, he totally does. He totally likes you. This book was so much fun to read, and I loved every single second of it. I loved this new world that we're being introduced to that's like really not even new. Okay guys, that was the reading vlog. I seriously don't know how I'm going to be able to wait till next fall. Tell me all your theories down in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!